Alpha Omega Knowledge. Everybody, I want to do this quick video. I'm going through posts on the 51st State page. I'm slowed down because sometimes you have to watch videos in certain areas. Other things require deeper research. Sorry, before you just post things. So, first thing I want to get across to Americans, Canadians, Western civilization, nuclear posturing, Donald J. Trump moving 2 nuclear subs into Russian engaged waters, and realize Russia, when it comes to the nuclear submarine, is more advanced than USA in that critical area. That's Poseidon. I think USA poisoning those there in response to the ex-prime minister is because they have some kind of intel that Russia itself has Poseidon nuclear subs maybe in the vicinity of North America. That's all I'm going to say. That would make sense to me. It's always a tit for tat with those two countries. Always has been. It's not new. All of the Cold War, we saw way worse posturing to the point it got pretty critical. And they've done it to each other back and forth. That's all we're seeing today. Remember, EU signed a deal with USA, $1.3 trillion over the next 3 years in extended foreign investment. Much of that in military, mass amounts of military. And then, of course, energy. Who supplies the energy to EU right now? Well, it's Russia. Next I want to hit is India. This is absolutely propaganda videos from both sides. Canadians and Americans, I need you to understand something. We have nothing in common in our policing systems. Zero, zip, zilch. Policing in the United States is check, balance, check, balance, check, balance, check, balance, check, balance, check, balance. That was 6. 6. You have 6 independent policing organizations subdivided out, 2 at the municipal, 2 at the state, 2 at the federal. That's how it works. All working together, but yet independent, with a check and balance, and again, at a different governing level system. They don't cross swords, so to speak. You see it in TV all the time. It's something that's correct, where they're always butting heads and bowing out. This is my jurisdiction, or this is my town, a-hole. I'm the duly elected here. These are my people. This is what I run. This is what you run at the state level. This is what you run at the federal level. You can only circumvent me at this check and balance, this check and balance, or this check and balance, and vice versa. Understand that. That is a mighty impressive system. It really reduces corruption. It really gives the power to the people. Now, on the flip side of that is this country, Canada. We have one policing system, equatable to the FBI, divided out into 6 different jurisdictions, 3 levels of government, and then, of course, 2 opposing sides of it, or views of the public, but yet they're all one thing. In Canada, they're all one thing under the federal crown. Doesn't matter what name they go by. There's no election system. There's a centralized education system in Canada, trained just like the FBI. Doesn't matter. At the local, small, hillbilly town level Canada, that officer probably wasn't even born there, came from the Central Police Training System. It's universal. They swear one oath. They have one system. They have a top-down effect from Prime Minister all the way down in elected and appointed crown, all the way out to you, the little people. Nothing like that in the United States, not even remotely close. These two policing systems are not even matchable in any way, shape, or form. Now, what's going on in Canada right now in massive propaganda, and there's a lot of videos, is a war between RCMP and Alberta sheriffs. A war between Prime Minister Carney and Danielle Smith. Danielle Smith has a policing organization like all premiers have in Canada at the legislature level. They have a policing system for the legislature, for the premiers and the MLAs. Danielle Smith has expanded hers beyond all measure to have a Crown-sworn policing service that, yes, still swears the same oath and does the same training as the RCMP, with an extra oath to the Premier of Alberta. So basically, she can make her own army of police. This is opposite of all other police forces in Canada, even other legislative polices, because they don't leave the legislative grounds of other provinces. In Alberta now, they are far encompassing. They're the largest police force ever created in North America. To put it in perspective, they are 6 times what the Secret Service equation in the United States is for all politicians. Donald J. Trump doesn't have remotely close to the amount of Secret Service as President of the United States assigned to him under him as Danielle Smith has sheriffs in the province of Alberta. Sheriffs are not elected. No police forces in Canada are elected. They're all appointed, and they're all centrally trained with the same oath and the same powers, meaning you can have municipal police, which have been caught even in many states of the U.S. Local elected sheriffs of the U.S. have caught rural police officers from Canada, even city police, who have no business from a small municipality in a U.S. state operating like an FBI agent. That is a fact. They can be transformed at any given time because of their oath in Canada. Understand this. It's a Gestapo style. I don't agree with it. I like the idea of to serve and protect all Americans equal. That's exactly what Canada should be. But we're more like the SS model of Russia. And in fact, we're older than it. We're older than the former Soviet Union's developed police. Even the German police system developed after Canada. Canada's is by far the oldest, and actually I think in the world, that jewel of the British colonial system that now has infected a lot of countries around the world. I know people will say, can't be true. Go do a Google search. You'll find Canada's system is the oldest. And it's actually corrupted many, many other countries, including communism, that came on the scene after Canada. That's my video. Massive alpha omega knowledge here for people to wrap their heads around. I'm watching a video, and it's Punjab, and it's kind of a war of the Sikhs and the Punjab here in Canada, who've become a massive immigration force, who are fighting this RCMP sheriff, this premier versus prime minister. Remember, India's a caste system too. Sure, they got independence in 48. They did not remove the crown from their system. They didn't. They're another joke like Canada. It's why Canada loves immigration from India. And I don't think Americans appreciate that. And I get it. How would you know if you've never lived under that system? Donald J. Trump, I don't think fully understands it or appreciates it. And they probably look at it like, well, Canada's small potatoes. But that's my video. Critical knowledge. Share, share, share. Get it out there. God bless. Have a great day.